How's it going, Sha?
I don't know. I
Why do
I
you say that?
I just don't know. At the time that people are listening to this, Mercury retrograde, it's either one day before or it will have started, depending on if it's Thursday or Friday when you're listening to this. So
Ooh,
what you are hearing now is me trying to deal with a cat that's all over the place, but also just kind of the what it sounds like to deal with a Mercury retrograde. That's how I will be sounding for the next 3 weeks of just, "Ugh, what do you ugh." Just a lot of that.
okay. Now
Yeah,
this is again, I've been learning this world through you vicariously.
right.
This is the one where electronics break and you clean up.
Um, yeah, there are electronic issues, don't sign any contracts. It's like communications.
Okay.
So, the, communication will be weird. Be patient, be very
Okay.
patient. Things that normally would be fixed on the first or second time, it may take the fourth time.
Okay.
Yeah, people may not be hearing what it is you're trying to say and vice versa.
Okay. You
Um
literally saw that happening with me and my dad before
Yeah,
the
right.
show.
So, you know how you
Okay.
were going in and things are different and you're like, "How to figure this out," and there's someone behind you who's being impatient?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that vibe for the next 3 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you
I like
know,
it.
just, all you gotta do is be kinda a lot of deep breathing, a lot of patience, and uh, understanding that not everybody is hearing everyone.
Right.
Also, don't if you can avoid signing contracts, do so,
Okay.
because you might be missing something that will come back and, if not bite you in the ass, at least nibble at your ass a little bit. That you then have to redo it all over again. Try not to buy any big ticket items, especially electronic things.
Is Mercury done retrograding before taxes are due?
Yes.
Okay, so I could still sign those papers afterward, but not be
Yeah.
late.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it'll be done by, like, I wanna say April 4th or 7th or something like that.
Now, question:
Uh-huh.
what if I sign after, but the person that prepped my papers did it during?
Double check it, triple check it before
Okay.
you sign it.
Yeah, I'm just realizing that now. Like I'm a sign after, but like all that work got done
Yeah,
fully in the
during.
retro,
Yes.
all in the grade. Okay.
Yeah, so definitely, like, check it 3 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is okay. So I've been noticed something like this week.
Mhm.
Is this related to that or is this like a character flaw? Like I've it's been like 3 weeks now. Like I've been kind of like fidgety in my office, and
Mhm.
I'm realizing that like I've had a lot more projects on my plate than normal.
Mhm.
So like I have not like usually end of the week I make it a point to like place everything to where it goes. And I
Okay.
haven't done that. So this like the office is not where I like it to be right now.
And
Uh,
that started when?
About 2 3 weeks ago.
Well, about 2 weeks ago, Venus went into retrograde.
Okay.
So that could be a Venus thing. Venus is like love, but also appearances. So if your if your office appears to be a mess because you can't get it right, it could be that as well.
Huh. Look at this. It
Yeah,
all lines up, baby.
yeah, it's a weird time. I think there's some sort of lunar eclipse tonight, maybe, or I don't know. The planets are they're doing a little kickball change right now. They're kind of dancing all over the place, and so I mean, last week I felt it felt weird um for me. I don't know why, but um throughout the whole week everything just felt off in weird places. This week I am very tired. I don't want to put it all on daylight saving. I don't like to blame those things. I mean, we've been dealing with those time changes. I dare say at this point, all our lives.
Yeah.
So we should be we should be used to that. But, um but I have been, uh, just kind of exhausted, a little run down. So, um, I don't who knows?
I mean, I gotta tell you, I am fully comfortable blaming daylight savings. Real talk. I started feeling fine like maybe like 7 minutes ago in
Okay,
terms
good
of
for
rest.
you.
Since
Yeah.
like Sunday, I've been a little off. And I did everything I could because like normally this is like the sleep in the hour one always helps. I
Mhm.
love that daylight savings. The get up earlier one every year throws me off for like 2 weeks.
Okay.
So I was
So
proactive
so
this year.
alright, so spring ahead fucks you up, but
Every year.
fall back, you
Love that.
good. Okay.
Always. This one every year throws me off.
Mhm.
Um, but I was proactive. I turned down spots on Sunday after 9.
Okay.
I was like, nah, like I gotta be responsible. I got an early meeting on Monday.
Mhm.
I wanna sleep. I had a meeting scheduled for 10 a.m. I didn't want it to be too early that like I would be thrown off, but I
Right.
wanted something to do so that I could have the actual clock,
Right.
you know. And like I set my sets. I think that night I did a show with you. That was my late set.
Right.
Went, you know what I mean? Went home after that, knocked out. Woke up the next day, had an alarm set for 9. Like, yo, I want to be in a routine.
Mhm.
You know, I thought I was doing all the right things. I was taking vitamins. I've been drinking water. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I had my first salad on Sunday
Okay, your
of the
first
new
out of
year,
2025,
2025.
you
Yeah, like I
had
was like,
in early March. Okay,
real talk.
great, great.
It was spinach based,
Okay.
uh, red wine vinegar,
Mhm.
broccoli, pickled onions.
Alright, alright.
You know, like I was trying. I was like, yo, let me get all the vitamins in me
Sure.
going into this event. You know, and I was a little fuzzy for the first 2 days.
Right.
You know, but
Fuzzy is a good way to describe it.
yeah,
Yeah, I was definitely fuzzy. I mean, Monday night into Tuesday morning is always just gonna be a mess for me, like, it doesn't matter what the time is doing, like,
yeah,
doing
that's rough for
something
you.
doing something that starts at 10 and I get home, if I'm lucky, by midnight, is, no big deal except that I haven't had a chance to unwind.
Right.
I can't unwind beforehand or else I'll just go to sleep and not go. So, so,
Amen.
so there's that adjustment, which means, like, maybe getting to sleep by, like, 2:30 or something, but I have to leave my house at 9 to get to work on time, like,
Right.
so now how am I, and I know that there are people who can shower at night and then wake up and then just go ahead and they do
Right.
all their showering at night. I don't mind a night shower, it's nice, it's relaxing, but I need a shower in the morning.
Yeah,
I
I'm
gotta
with
start
you.
my day with a shower. So, so that's an issue. So I'm like, well, I gotta figure in time to shower. So, I'm still a little draggy.
Yeah.
I'm still a little draggy, but what are you gonna do?
What's your shower balance though? Like I
What
do like 30 night and I do like 5 in the morning.
Oh, I don't know. I do the same basic things in there. I go in, that's where I wash my face.
Right.
So we start with the face wash. And then we do the body wash with bar soap.
Okay.
Uh, and then we do a go over of the body with body wash. If that makes sense.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Like, I don't just leave it to Bed Bath& and Beyond. I also, you
No one
know
ever should.
y
I agree.
yeah, I mean, I don't trust it. Sure, it smells good, but, am I clean? No. So, I get something in there that's gonna clean me, and,
Uh,
yeah, so I have to do that first, and then after that, it depends on how I'm feeling, how long I just stand under there, or how hot the water stays. I just stand there trying to become a person. Um, or if I have to shave my legs or anything like that, but, or if I'm washing my hair in there, there are all these other things that
Huh.
come into it, but I probably, uh, I mean, I guess all told, I'm probably out of walking into the bathroom and walking out of the bathroom done, probably like 20 minutes, 20 to 25 minutes, something like that. But that's also including getting out of the shower and then brushing my teeth and
Okay.
then finishing my face stuff with like a toner, serum, moisturizer, and then walking out.
And that's in the morning, and then you do the same routine at night?
No, at night I you will do the bar soap
Okay.
and wash my face, but then it's a different night routine of washing of the
But
face.
similar time.
Not similar, not it's a little bit shorter at night
Okay, okay.
because I need to do that to get my day started. So my
Right,
longer
okay.
one's going to be in the morning,
Gotcha. Okay.
but yeah, at night, I guess I'm just if I'm trying to relax or I'm rinsing away the day or something like that, but I'm not it's not as hardcore because 'cause I'm just gonna go to bed
Nah, I
and
feel you. Okay.
yeah.
I was gonna say, cause like we might have discovered a time leak, yo. Like, real talk, yo. If you ain't finished like a packet or something, it's cause you in the shower, you know?
Oh, well, I mean, if I didn't finish a packet, it's because I started a packet. That's what that is. I'm not worried about the time so much. It's not so much time in the shower that's keeping me. I mean, I could hop in and out, no problem. It's me just reading shit on my phone. That's where the
Okay.
time suck is. So, I have to, or trying to decide on something to watch. It's a lot of me
Mm.
just either staring off into space or looking at my phone and just kinda scrolling while menus play on on my television.
Yo, I'm blown away with that YouTube is way better at telling me what I should watch versus
Oh,
like Netflix and Amazon.
YouTube's algorithm is not what it used to be. I think it's pretty bad right now, but it is still
Really?
good. It's literally based on what you watched before,
Yeah.
but, it doesn't have its memory. It used to have a lot more memory.
Ah, yeah, I can see
So,
that.
like, if you went into say you were like me during COVID and for some reason for 2 days you watched, um, the cleaning out of horses' hooves,
Right.
right? Um, and then you move on to some particular musical artist, which is a
Right.
very common yep, she went from sheep to whatever, but it would still, give you like, what about these animals, right? What about these animals?
Right.
For a little while. Um, but now if I go from shearing sheep to MSNBC, when I close it, it's just gonna be all MSNBC.
Oh.
And I'm like, "What about the sheep?" I mean, they don't even check back. They used to check back after a month of you not watching it, like, "Hey, we still doing
Yeah.
this?" And it's like, "You know what? I haven't in a while. Maybe I
Real
should.
talk.
Let's see what they're doing." It used to be very good, and then it's different if you're watching it on television versus if you're watching it on, like, a laptop.
Right.
Like, they have suggestions when you bring up, um, like, a video to watch, but you have to, like, scroll, and it takes away from what you're watching. So, if I've gone shearing sheep, MSNBC, now I'm watching, let's see, Showtime at the Apollo, right?
Right.
Um if you're watching on a laptop, usually on the side, they would be like, "All right, here's some other episodes of Showtime at the Apollo. Here are some artists that have been on Showtime at the Apollo. And also don't forget you're still into that sheep thing." Now it's just like, I don't it's just not the same. They don't remember your sheep era.
I'm sorry to hear that, yo.
So you gotta go back and put in shearing sheep, and they're like, "Oh, yeah, this bitch did like that." And then it's only that, and then it's like, "But what about I there I contain multitudes. There were so many things I was watching that
Real talk.
I barely get anymore. So now it's like it's almost like it's forcing you to subscribe to things so that you will get that stuff in your algorithm, but I've done that and it still isn't giving me the stuff things that I've subscribed to that I used to get updates like, "Hey, so and this is they just put this out." It's still not giving me that like it used to.
Yeah.
So, it will, after a long time, give me like, "Oh, here's, Never Too Small. Remember how you liked watching tiny houses or apartments and how they put it
Yeah.
together?" "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, they got a new one." And I watch it, and then I go to the channel, and they're like, "Actually, there have been about 20 new ones. We just never told you." And I'm like, "Hey, why you forget about me like that? I subscribed. I
But they
still
want you to
wanna see it."
binge. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but I don't even know, what and I actually, that's kinda how I deal with all of these algorithms in all of the streaming things, is I have to go deep, and that's where I really kinda look around instead of what they give you, because what they give
Yeah.
you, they're kinda giving everyone. So if you're like me and you're on Twitter and you're like, "Why what the hell is Bird Box and why is everybody talking about it?" Well, it's because it was the first movie on Netflix that week, and everyone's like, "Well, I guess
Right.
this is what I need to watch." It ain't. If you don't want to, it's not. Um, yeah, so I will, like, on HBO Max or whatever, I will pick a movie that maybe I'd watch, and then I'd go down to see what they would suggest if I liked that movie, even though I didn't watch that movie, and then there's a whole bunch of movies that are listed there that never make it to the front page.
Ah, right,
So, like,
right.
that might be closer to what it is that you would like, and you're like, "Oh, shit, I didn't know they had this." You click on that, you see what
Yeah.
else they wanna you gotta, like, click on something and see what they suggest for that movie, and then just, like, keep digging deep that way, and that's what I had to do with Netflix, is go into, like it took me a minute to get past what they wanted me to watch to get to where they're like, "Alright, what about movies that won awards, like independent awards?" I'm like, "Now we talking, bitch." And now I can
Yeah.
click on those and see what else and all that other stuff, but Netflix is too I think they're too racially motivated also.
Yeah, yeah. Yo, oh, this is a black person. You'll like this. And
Yes,
I'm like, as
exactly.
and I'm like, yeah, but also,
But other things.
I have multitudes,
Yeah,
Show
they
me more.
always find they do, like, that thing with the artwork where they find the black person in the movie, and they put them on the artwork of the movie.
Yeah.
So you click and you're like, "Oh, this is gonna have a whole bunch of Michelle Buteau," which is safe on Netflix, it'll always have Michelle Buteau, but it doesn't have as much as you think. She ain't on the box
Yo,
cover.
yo, she's 7 minutes in. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's it. So I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy that you would try to get me to watch something just because you put this person on it."
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it worked, but it won't no more.
Nope, sure won't.
You know? Come on, B. Yeah, I'm impressed with that. But I do, yeah, I wish it was better because like
Mm,
I like the issue I have with YouTube is that like I like too much stuff.
right,
So like I'll log in to do work and I'm like, let me see a YouTube video. And like the homepage will have like 40 videos I want to see. And now like, all right, well, I'm not working till tomorrow.
right.
I want to see all of these now because I'm also worried that like they'll disappear and
They
I'll
will
never get them again.
absolutely
You know
disappear.
what I
I have
mean?
to go through and start them and let them play a little bit or add them
Yeah,
to watch later, and then so that I have them in my history, and then I can
exactly.
go back to history and go, "Oh, yeah, I did start that. Let me finish it," because that shit will I had to do that with something yesterday that had all of the samples of, uh, the Paul's Boutique album by Beastie Boys, or they matched up all the
Yo,
samples, and I was like, "I don't have time to watch this right now, but I know if I scroll, it will disappear."
exactly. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I love the track list breakdowns where
Mhm.
they'll show the different samples,
Right.
you know what I mean, of what goes into a song. Every now and then YouTube will like be like, hey, you remember you used to like So For Real? And like Candy Rain will play,
Right.
like just I love that shit. Just like it knows all the weird things. Like, hey, remember that year when you thought you was gonna be a real estate broker back in college? Here's a whole bunch of stuff about how to study for that test. Sure, why not? I could make a career pivot,
Sure.
and like it'll show me all the rabbit holes that Gastor of past has been through that like it lets
Right.
me escape in a weird way,
Yeah.
you know? But the other apps don't have that down. They don't get it.
No, they don't, because they don't have the spread of stuff that, YouTube has.
Nah.
So, YouTube is like, and YouTube, you watch a lot more emotionally than you do any of the other apps.
Yeah, you're right. I do think that's it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
Huh.
you watch the other stuff, the other apps if they've got something on that you wanna watch.
Uh,
But if you wanna watch something, if you wanna watch some music or listen to music, you go to YouTube. If someone tells you something and you don't believe it, you go try to find the truth on YouTube. If you gotta put a table together and you don't know how, you look it up on YouTube. You're trying to cook something, it's on YouTube. If you're like, "How do they clean horses' hooves?" It's on YouTube. All of that shit is, I just wanna watch what it looks like for a train to go on its whole run. Someone put a camera in the front of the train. That's there. That's there. It's all just very emotional, so, yeah.
yeah.
I can't look for that on Max.
I love this. I love this. Look at this. We solved all the problems.
Yeah, yeah.
Amen. We back at it, baby. Mercury retrograding. We solving YouTube for the algos.
Yeah,
What can't we do?
I'm gonna let you happen to me, whatever happens. Mer you know.
I will say, Hulu gave me a decent movie. I watched A Real Pain.
Oh, did you watch it?
Yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. Thought it was really well done.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm sure I will. I need a little less Kieran in my life right now.
Okay.
Because he won and stuff, and he's lovely, but I just watch all the press runs, and I've got a lot of what he is what he's like, and I need a break.
Yeah, this was I will say the first time that I saw his brother like physically in him. Like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, like there was like moments where like, oh, like they are related. That like I never saw before.
Mhm.
That was like interesting. The performances were both great. Also I like the succinctness, being frank. I think too many movies like force themselves to hit 2 hours. This was like 90 minutes.
Hey, man, that's literally what I look for first in a movie is, "Wait, how
Yo,
long are you?" In fact, that was one thing that Netflix got right. They were like, "Movies that are 90 minutes or less," and I'm like, "That's what I'm talking about, bitch. Learn me, know me,
yeah,
love
yo.
me. Let's see what we got. Now we talking. I'll watch any of these because I can do it, and it's not gonna take too much time. I can wash dishes. It'll be fine." Those are my favorites.
Yeah, that hit. I was like, yo, this is 90 minutes. I could watch this.
That's
Okay.
great. That's good to
Real
know.
talk.
I hadn't checked that yet, but that's very helpful.
Yeah. I
Okay.
was like, oh, this is solid. I'm with it. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
just on some like artist shit, like it inspired me because like budget wise, it seems doable. Like it
Okay.
was a well told story that like outside of like the travel costs, like I could see like, oh, you could kind of I could see how somebody could shoot this, you know what
Mhm.
I mean, affordably. You know what I mean? The expensive part would have been the actors.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I'm with it. I love seeing stuff like that. I was like, oh, I could tell a story like this.
I
So it was
mean,
pretty cool.
yeah, Jesse wrote it, right? He wrote it and
Yeah,
directed it? Yeah.
real talk. I like that was the reason I watched it actually. Cause like I like seeing like we people got this idea that like artists get paid a lot. And obviously the top of the top do, but most, yeah, we trying.
Right.
You know what I mean? But I do enjoy the perks that come with our life. You know what I mean? I've talked a lot about like, you know, being able to see creatives doing awesome things.
Mhm.
But Jesse got one of the cool perks.
Which
Like
was
he got citizenship to Poland because this film like was a positive reflection on like the Polish like the environment, the culture.
Oh,
So I was like, that's fire. Like you just got a passport? Like that's
that's
kind of
pretty
hard.
great. Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah. I
great.
was like, that's dope. So yeah, stuff like that. Like I was like, that's kind of dope, man. Real talk. You in the game and just countries are like, yo, you want hours now. I'm like, oh hell yeah.
Well, not everyone's gonna make a love letter to a place.
I mean, it's a motivation to now. Real
Yeah,
talk.
yeah, true, true.
Every album I'm dropping from now on is dedicated to a new country.
Okay, let's think that through. That's be yeah, maybe, maybe.
You heard Gas was making an album about Nigeria? What? I ain't never been there, but he was just really inspired. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Let's get
Okay.
into the news.
Mhm.
Kicking us off. Florida man swallows
Sure.
a $769,000 stolen diamond earring from Tiffany and Company, and he asks the cops if he will be charged for it. That's right.
Wait, he did
Amateur.
what to it? He swallowed it?
He swallowed it. An amateur jewel thief swallowed Tiffany and Co.'s earrings worth $769,000 in a strong arm heist gone wrong. Jonathan Lawrence Gilder, 32, pretended to be a representative for an Orlando Magic player. Good angle. Respect. Okay.
Yeah, that's
I'm
not
in.
bad, that's not bad.
Real talk. That'll get you into a store, gives you a layer of protection, blame it on the other. I'm with this. Okay. To gain access to the pricey jewelry. The accused thief allegedly ran out of the store with two sets of earrings. One 4.86 carat set worth 160,000, another an 8.10 carat set worth $609,500. Gilder was stopped by the Orlando police on the Interstate 10 and charged with resisting arrest, but they were initially unable to locate the stolen earrings and thus charged him for the theft. But while in jail, Gilder spontaneously asked staff if he was going to be charged with what's in my stomach.
This
Come
dumbass.
on, B, you had it.
Uh,
Gilder then underwent a body scan where detectives were able to spot foreign objects working their way through his digestive tract. These foreign objects were suspected to be the Tiffany and Co. earrings taken in the robbery, but will need to be collected by WCSO after they are passed through his system prior to confirming. Man, you're so close.
you
Trooper at
dumbass.
Orange County Jail overheard Gilder say, I should have thrown them out the window. He has 48 outstanding warrants, Sha.
Oh, okay, well, so he's not
Yo.
particularly smart. Um,
uh, oh
yeah,
my goodness.
why would you say anything? Why would you say anything?
Yeah.
Or, I was gonna say, are you new to thievery? But clearly you're not. You're just not good at it.
Yo. He was charged for robbing another Tiffany and Co. in Texas,
Right.
2022. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I wonder if you swallowed that stuff. I'm
Real
guessing
talk.
no. Yeah, like,
Yeah.
why would you know you gotta shift through your own shit to get it out, right? You know it's gonna shred, your rectum and your lower intestines, right? Like, oh boy. Those
Yeah.
diamonds cut glass. The
Yeah.
fuck
You don't
you
think they
think
go,
it's gonna do to your colon?
yo, what are you thinking, my G? Oh,
Oh,
all through the
well,
colon.
you
And
dummy.
like, you know, you know how like you've ever had like I'm sure you've done it. I know I've done this when you had like an argument with somebody and you wish you said something and you think about it later in the car or something.
Sure, yes.
This dude robbed the store in 2022 in Texas. Whether it went right or wrong, I'm positive afterward he was like, "Yeah, I wish I would have done this different." And
Right.
this is the better, the different. Yeah, I'm gonna
Well,
swallow
even
that
when he
shit.
finished this, he was like, "Oh, I should have just thrown it out the window." How many
Yeah.
epiphanies are you going to have about robbing Tiffany's? See,
Oh man.
Tiffany's epiphanies. Just stop it. My
Yo,
man, just stop it.
low key, this is kind of like his Van Gogh like self portrait though. Like he just keeps doing the
Oh,
same
keeps
crime
doing
till
that.
he gets it perfect.
Oh, wow. Well, I mean, art is art, but we gotta find
Yo.
something else for you, buddy. Your tummy can't handle this.
Oh man, keep elevating your game, yo. I'm a fan now. Real talk, man.
Oh
I like the
boy.
little Orlando Magic wrinkle. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad I mean, that part isn't a bad hustle.
Yeah, that was
But you gotta
solid.
be careful though, because someone will be like, "Oh, yeah? Well, prove it."
Mm,
You
mm.
know? You're gonna have to know some facts or something about the people, you know what I mean?
Real
Like,
talk.
be prepped.
Yeah, do
Like,
some
maybe be on the
research.
phone when you come in so that they're like, "Oh, he's very busy. He doesn't have time to answer my
Right.
questions 3 in order to cross the bridge into Tiffany's."
Oh my God. In other news, Katy Perry and Gayle King are headed to space. That's right. Singer-songwriter Katy Perry and broadcast journalist and co-host of the CBS Morning, Gayle King, have signed on for the next Blue Origin space flight. The upcoming flight will launch this spring and send an all-female crew into space. The crew will also include former NASA engineer Aisha Bowe, research scientist Amanda Nguyen, and film producer Karen Flynn. Oh, and Lauren Sanchez as well, helicopter pilot and fiance of the Blue Origin founder of Jeff Bezos.
Jeff, just tell the girl you need a break. You don't got to shoot her into space.
Yo, real talk, yo.
Now you're gonna take our beloved Gayle King up there in space just because you and Lauren just need some time apart? Get
Real talk,
out of
yo.
here, you dummy.
I said Gabby to Broadway with like two of her friends. I ain't never sent her to space.
Yeah, it's
That's
not that.
different, yo.
Maybe you just shouldn't see each other anymore. Maybe you need an actual break, not just
Yeah,
space. Maybe that's it. Just have the discussion. I don't see
yeah.
why you got
It's
to get your little dick-shaped rocket into it. Right?
yo,
Blue Origin is the one with the knobby when it looks like a little knob, like a penis, a little knobby head. Anywho, um, I first of all, to all of the ladies who are going to be on this flight, I respectfully say, don't do that shit.
at all.
That's a dumb idea. Secondly, how them two that are stuck up in space doing? Because they're still
Mm,
there.
mm.
They're still there. And if I remember correctly, didn't Jeff Bezos ride his dick up into space and then come back and it literally was just like barely broke like it was barely space. It wasn't even where it was dark.
Yo,
It
real
was just
talk.
the edge of sky, the space parking lot or something. It wasn't even really. So I guess they're not going far. And then on top of that, this was literally a plot point in the morning show
Yo,
on Apple Plus with Reese Witherspoon. I think
mm.
Reese Witherspoon went up to space with John Hamm or yeah, or it was John Hamm's rocket and Reese Witherspoon went up like what at any rate, no one's interested because we literally saw a fictional version of this like a year and a half ago. And it was wild. It was bonkers. Um
Yo, I trust none of this.
Lastly, Katy Perry, I mean, I feel like you could do better, but if you can't, I don't know, enjoy your time in space. Like
Yo,
maybe that will work for you too.
I'm with you. I would not do this if
Mhm.
I'm any of these women.
Right.
One, to your first point, I really feel like this is a very public but uh way of getting rid of your wife. I feel like he's just like
Yeah.
sacrificing these other successful women, and he's saying, "Yo, if y'all all die, it looked like it wasn't on purpose. Like, why would
Right.
I want to
Yeah.
kill off
I
all
can't
these other women?"
can't believe you're willing to take out Gayle King and
Hmm.
Katy Perry than just
But I
break up with your
100%
girl.
real talk. But I 100% believe he would. This is a tough convo he don't want to have because he's used
Yeah.
to running businesses. He's only had two girlfriends. They've both been his wife. Like
He hadn't even married this one yet.
yeah. So real
So
talk.
do it. Just break up now. If
That's what
she
I'm
hadn't
saying. But
signed a prenup yet, or she won't just be assumed that she'll get half because you already gave half to old girl, and she's like, I don't know, the fourth richest person, all based on your money and your dumb
real
ass.
talk.
So if you think that maybe you should end it, end it.
That's it. But
But
that's the thing.
don't
He's not
send her
going
into
because I.
space.
This is one thing I've learned from men and that are this successful
Hmm.
that like you can be a 40, 50-year-old incredibly talented person at this thing and still be 12 at the other thing. And I he's two relationships in. This kid is in junior high school. Real talk. Jeff
Oh
Bezos
no.
is he don't know how to do these. He's passing notes. Like he's like yes, no, maybe in this whole conversation. Real talk. He don't know how to do none of this shit. So this is his breakup letter right here.
Oh
Like I
my
think there's
god.
gonna be a letter in the blue penis that she's gonna
For her
read
to
in space.
read while they're
Real
out in
talk.
space.
Don't
Oh.
open till you in Mars. It says some shit like that.
Oh
And
my
these are
god.
all the women that like they had a convo once, and she was like, "Yo, if we broke up, who would you want around you to console you? Because I could make that happen." And like, this is what that crew is.
Oh,
These are the
so she would want
yeah.
if there was a breakup, she would wanna be around Katy Perry
I'm
and
telling you,
Gayle King.
Gail King. This
She
is the
probably
squad
at
of
first
women.
said Oprah, and Jeff was like, "I don't know if I can get Oprah. I can
Yeah,
get you Gayle.
I get you, Gail.
I can
I'm
get
cool
you
with
Gayle." Yeah.
her.
Oprah
She
don't
owe me
need it,
one. Oprah
but
don't need it. Gail owe me a solid. You know what I mean?
oh my gosh.
Oh man. In other news, Trump turns the White House lawn into a Tesla showroom.
Okay,
That's right.
good. I'm glad
President
we're
Trump.
covering this because I only saw it in passing, but, and I didn't really see or hear exactly what happened, but I know my eyes rolled back in my head, and I just went back to eating candy. So what's happening? Go ahead, lay it on me, lay it on me.
I, lo- I love how you prep for bad news now. That's good. Oh man, President Donald Trump turned the south lawn of the White House into a temporary Tesla showroom Tuesday in a conspicuous favor for his advisor Elon Musk and the car company of the billionaire. Tesla delivered 5 of its vehicles to the White House and parked them on a driveway for Trump to personally inspect. Hours after he said on True Social that he planned to buy a Tesla to demonstrate his support for Musk and for the slumping company.
I can't
With Musk.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I know we hadn't even gotten to the meat of it yet. I just wanna make sure I understand that the president of the United States
Hmm.
said to Elon Musk, "Hey, bruh," he said this on his bootleg Twitter,
Yep.
"Hey, bruh, I'll buy one of your cars just to show you support,"
Real talk. That's my dude.
even though the company is even though the world isn't free you know what? Continue reading. I just
With Musk besides him, Trump declared the vehicles beautiful and in particularly praised the company's unusually designed Cybertruck. As soon as I saw it, I said, that is the coolest design.
oh, that okay. Keep reading. I can't.
Though Trump frequently attacked electric vehicles during his last year's campaign, he told reporters that he had heard good things about Teslas from his friends. Yeah, this is wild. Though. What world are we living in? This is crazy.
Oh my god.
He sat in the driver's seat of a sedan with Musk seated beside him and said he planned to buy one. The one I like is that one, and I want the one from in the same color. He said, pointing to the red Model S. The vehicle is listed on Tesla's website for 73,000 or 88,000 for the all-wheel drive Model S Plaid. Uh, he did not take a test drive, but said he might another time. Because of ethical restraints, it is extremely rare for a senior government official, let alone a sitting president, to endorse a consumer product so explicitly. In 2017, when then Trump counselor Kellyanne Conway told
Oh, remember
Americans
that bitch?
she she told Americans to buy from Ivanka Trump's clothing line. She received a warning from the government ethics office and promised to never do it again. By reviewing the Teslas in public before cameras, Trump ensured that his purchase would get wide attention. Dan Scavino, a White House deputy chief of staff, live streamed the event on X, the social media app owned by Musk. The White House did not immediately respond to requests for comments on the application of ethic rules.
Okay, so here's the thing. I saw something in passing about that. You know, people were making jokes on Twitter about him, you know, being in the looking at this car because apparently he looked in the red car and was like, "Oh, everything's computers, everything computer."
Right.
And so I was like, "Okay, he's walking America through a Tesla." I guess I didn't know all the details, but I knew it was weird. Um,
Hmm.
and then I overheard one coworker telling another coworker about how he was just like, "Hey, did you see that Tesla stock just went up like 3%?" And the other
Whoa.
coworker's like, "What? How? Why?" And the first one's like, "I don't know why, but for some reason, you know how everything all stock has been dropping today, but for some reason Tesla went up like 3%." And I just stuck my head out of the break room and I was like, "It's because Trump just did a bootleg Tesla commercial on the White House lawn." And they were
Mhm.
like, "What?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just saw that happen." And
Yo.
now we see why it happened. Yo, that's why it's so insane, because that's not talked about in here. It's just like, huh, this is weird that the president would all of it for out of nowhere, no one asked him to, just suddenly be like, look at these Tesla. You know what I mean? How about this? I'm like,
Yeah.
man, we've already turned the corner on Teslas. And I know people are like returning them or
Yeah.
dumping it, but I mean, like, look, we've got 4 years worth of like
Yo.
proof that you bring up Elon Musk and say that's my boy, and I'm like his Teslas are catching on fire. Like we got 4 years
We've
of that
been
shit.
way ahead of this. Yeah. So I've been anti-Tesla from the jump. Real talk.
You know where you gonna so like that's wild that is suddenly there's a commercial that Trump is doing. And
Yo.
then I when I heard my coworker say that, I was like, "Oh, Elon must have been freaking the fuck out."
Mhm.
Like, because he lost, I saw on maybe on um oh gosh, I don't even know who it was, either Seth Meyers or someone was saying how much the different billionaires, how much money the different billionaires lost when the Dow Jones and the market plunged recently, earlier
Right.
this week. And Elon Musk lost like, I don't know, 140 something billion dollars.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, yeah, that is. Good for those billion for getting free. But um yeah, so I bet he was just in there just freaking the fuck out with his kid crying and, was just like, "We gotta do something. You gotta do something."
Real talk.
And Trump was like, "Well, I mean, you did buy me, so I guess I do have to do something."
Real talk. I mean,
Uh,
I hope you push some of these cars. You know what I mean?
yeah, and so they did like like a oh my gosh. What actually, here's a question. Regional, or local car dealership commercials,
Mm.
right? What is they usually have some sort of catchphrase.
Right.
Um, what was one that you remember growing up where there was what's like when you think of a local car dealership and you think of their commercials and you think of what they said in them all the time or what their catchphrases were, what's one that immediately comes to mind for you?
Huh. I mean,
Can you think of any like radio commercials that you've just heard so many times that they're just stuck in your head?
not offhand. I know there was some good rap ones from out west
Oh.
that I've seen. New York, I've seen mostly like ads that from sports people, like the radio station people will be like, "Yo, tell them that I sent you,"
Oh,
and like
okay.
I always
Right.
felt weird, like that's kind of off to me. I don't know if I could ever say that.
Yeah.
Like, yo, this dude I've never met that I listened to on the radio, he told me to come see
That
you.
you bought an ad so that that person could say it to as many people as possible? Well,
Yeah,
he
like,
sent me.
real
Oh,
talk.
okay. Alright.
But I know there's been some like really really dope like rap ones. Like
Mhm.
I know Cecil Myers I think was one.
That was the name of the dealership? The
Yeah, like
Cecil
it was like
Myers?
yeah, like it was like a Herbie White dude, but he did like a rap song and like this years ago. Like I'm
Right,
talking like
yeah, yeah. Because I'm sure they are doing them in other markets, but I didn't know exactly how New York got down with that. If it was like New York, New Jersey, or the
yeah, nah.
tri-states.
I
Yeah.
don't know them from New. I know them from YouTube. Like people would send me them, like, "Yo, this is hip hop."
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it'll be like a regional one from somewhere. You had one in ATL?
Oh my god, I had so many. I have so many that I remember. Are you kidding me? There was one, uh, there was one, it was Nally, Nalley, and Nally, I mean, they sold, cars. Maybe it was probably Nally Honda or Nally, whatever. But at the end of it, at the end of the commercial, informative commercial, and at the end, they gave you the directions. And that's all it was. But the way the guy said the directions is seared in my bread or in my brain.
Okay.
It's just, all right. Oh, also their catchphrase was that be Nally. That be Nally.
Okay.
Oh, you
Okay.
want to blah blah blah? That be Nally. And then after a couple of that be Nally, they'd go, you take your I-85 south, you take your Stewart Avenue exit, you take your right, and there it is on the left. That's it. You take your I-85 south, you take your Stewart Avenue exit, you take your right, and there it is on the left. That'd be
Yo,
Nally. That's and the
I
last
know that played a lot because I'm gonna be real shy. That is the least catchiest shit I've heard in my life.
that's what I'm
For
saying.
that to
It's
be seared in your
seared.
brain is
Seared
wild.
because it's just like a hick voice going, you take your I-85 south, you take your Stewart Avenue exit, you take your right, and there it is on the left. That's that that stuck with me. So that's the first one I think that I remember hearing where I'm like, why do they play this commercial so much? Because now I know the directions to Nally and I don't even know where any of that is. I ended up living not far from it. Like
Yo.
the last place I lived in Atlanta was I could get to what was Stewart Avenue, but by then they had changed the name of the street to Metropolitan Parkway. Big thing they do in Atlanta is constantly change the name to the streets.
Why?
Constantly because the street name has a negative connotation based on whatever neighborhood is around it. So then they don't make changes to improve the neighborhood. They just change the name of the street.
Real talk. Let these rappers update their bars. That's
Yeah,
it.
so you just keep talking about Donald Lee Hollowell, and I'm like, "That's cool, but where is that?" "It's Bankhead, baby, that's Bankhead." "Oh, okay." So, anywho, so I lived off, where I could get to, like, the laundromat I used was on Metropolitan Parkway, so I knew how to get over there, and then one day, I was going somewhere, and I was like, "Oh, let me take Metropolitan. I think I can get on the highway from there." So I got onto the highway, and as I did it, I looked to my right, and Nally was there, and I was getting on the highway going 85 north, and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm doing a reverse Nally." And it dawned on me, like,
Yo.
"Oh shit."
Oh, that's awesome.
So there's that one. There's Maxi Price. Maxi
Okay.
Price is on the other side, on the other, like to the north, like Nally's southwest. Maxi Price is northeast. So Maxi Price had two catchy things. That's how good Maxi Price was. The first
Yo.
one was um, the prices were so low that people were coming in and buying so many cars, and Maxi Price himself would he'd be so like the cars would be going so fast that I guess he'd start crying and he'd say, "Hand me my crying towel." So he's like,
Wow.
"Maxi
Okay.
Price, hand me my crying towel." That meant that there were so many cars that the deals were so good it made him cry. "Hand me my crying towel." That was one. And then the second one he did was like some sort of weird dance thing where everyone would do the maxi swing and everyone would do this weird like twist. And there was a song for it, and you're just, I don't know. But anywho, "Hand me my crying towel" to me was my favorite. There are a lot of
That's
things.
fire.
Yeah.
Real
There,
talk.
yeah.
I will say you've triggered some memories here.
Okay, I know. I was
Real
like, there's
talk.
gotta be. I mean, in the
One,
way that Crazy Eddie's was
yeah.
insane. That one I remember from when I lived here, which means I was a child, and that was stuck in here. I mean, there are commercials from me living in New York in the 70s that will never go away. The commercial for
Yo, they're there.
The Milford Plaza in on Broadway, the where they change the words of the lullaby of Broadway. You know, they start singing, "Come on along and listen to the lullaby of Broadway," right? And then at some point
Yeah.
they say, "And in the center of it all is the Milford Plaza." Like, come on, what? That's not how the song goes, but that's how I
Oh
sing
man.
it.
Real talk. None of those got checked. They ain't pay no rates for that. Real
No,
talk.
mm-mm,
Nobody checked that Broadway license.
not at
Yo,
all.
I def remember being like disappointed that John Starks was pushing Kias. He has his own dealership. He has a John Starks Kia. And I
Okay,
was like, this dude was a Nick Star legend.
can
You
he
know what I
fit
mean?
in a Kia?
Yo, yeah, so I was saying, like, yo, you like 6'4", my G. You know what I mean?
Alright, yeah.
You pushing kids to the people.
Mhm.
I that always bothered me.
Okay.
Um, and I definitely remember one that was like a chant that it
Mm.
was Auto Land, 1-800 Auto Land. Like, and that yo,
That's beautiful.
real talk. That shit is engraved.
That's all they need. That's all they need. It doesn't have to be as catchy as "Hand Me My Crying Towel." It literally also has to be informative. So they gave you the number for Autoland. I, no
Yo.
matter where I live, can tell you how to get to Nally. Like like that's how they get you.
Oh man.
Ugh.
If you would like to get a reverse Nally set of directions to the War Report's next show, all you gotta do is like, subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple or Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars, you don't know where that's taking you. We don't know either. Okay. Shalewa found it by accident.
Yeah, yeah. I think you're leaving the airport. I'm not sure. You're just not. You're not on the south side as much, basically, I guess.
5 stars. This is how I will be promoting every episode of the War Report going forward. Okay. Just remixing really obscure car commercials. Okay. It's the future. I like
Yeah.
it. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter and Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs this week to Dana Ford, Brandy Spain, and I wasn't sure to say this. I'm guessing Uzziah, but I like the spelling of it, so I got hype.
Oh, yeah. Uzziah?
Uzziah,
Uzziah or Uzziah?
Uzziah or Uzziah. But either way, the name spelling's fire. I rock with that. Real talk. That shit was dope. I was like, yo, real talk. I was like, I don't even know if we get to your article, but I gotta say that name on the radio.
Right.
Like, I gotta record myself trying that. That's just fire. Uh, with all that said, I am the haven't shopped at, but will buy my next car at Autoland. Gastor
I hope it's
Almonte.
still open.
You know what I mean? Yo, I
Yeah.
actually like. Have you gone to like those areas in New York where like it's nothing but car dealerships?
No, I don't know what street or where, because that seems to be the case in every town. Is like
Yeah.
there's one part of one road where all the dealerships are.
Yo,
And
it's
so,
stressful.
yeah, I'm sure it is.
Real
You
talk.
just bounce from one to, yeah, yeah.
They take over those whole neighborhoods. It's bananas.
Mhm.
My one of the last things I worked at Cintas for like 3 weeks. And the reason that I left that job, the second reason was this account that I had to service one of those like blocks of people of like businesses. They all were like the car dealerships
Okay.
for like 10 different companies. So like I had to deliver their uniforms, I had to deliver their washcloths, all the like Cintas stuff.
Oh, wow, for
And
car
like
dealerships.
for a car dealership and their mechanic shops, all of that.
Right,
And
that's a
like
lot of rags.
it was insane, yeah. And like everyone, and so like this was my issue. Like normally, like with all those businesses, they have a roster
Mhm.
that's set, and then like you bring in their laundry, you take out the old one, you drop off. And like it was one of those convoluted things where like they were like, yo, we're all under this company, but we're also our own companies.
No.
So like I would go to one, I had like 10 stores that like when they wanted to like bigwig me would say, yo, you're gonna lose this whole company's business. But then each individual store would be like, yo, I don't rock with them. Treat me different. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, you can't have it both ways, homie. Like,
Right.
you want to leverage the power, but then also tell me I got to give you nuanced, like,
Right.
care. And then like, so they'll be like, yo, how come you missing this shirt? And I'm like, I brought one for this guy. He's like, oh, that guy don't work here no more. He work at Toyota. And I'm like, Toyota is still you, my G. He's over there. You know what I mean? You Mitsubishi, he Toyota, but y'all the same company.
Right.
It's just across the street. Like he ain't leave. You just told him to go out over there.
Right.
Like he could wear the same rags. He's like, nah, the stitching is different.
Oh
And
my
like, so
god.
like shit like that was happening all the time. And
Mhm.
they was getting mad at me. I'm like, yo, I told my boss, like, yo, homie, he got all these like transfers and stuff. They got to handle that with you through email. Like, I'm over here dealing with this on the street.
Right.
This is supposed to be like a drop off and pickup. And I'm dealing with, and every
With
manager was having a
admin
comment.
shit, yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, like, that's not my part of the gig. I'm here, computer, sign, I'm out. You know what I
Right,
mean?
yes.
And you over here like, yo, how come this guy's shirt is missing? How come he don't work here no more? Like you tell me, where is he? I want to know too. You know what I mean? I was getting heated with them dudes. Real talk, y'all
Oh my
spazzing out. I was like,
god.
yo, this is so many. You can't. Yo, the dude like, oh, he don't work at this school. Where he work? He over there. And I'm like, yo, it's just because like they'll say the company last name and
Right.
then the brand of car. It's the
Mhm.
same last name. So I'm like, yo, all of y'all is the same company. So don't
Right.
tell me that like he ain't here no more. He over there. You know what I mean? He like, well, I
Right.
don't want to sign that invoice because that company gets billed for it. And I'm like, I feel y'all. I'm just
Right.
saying that's a y'all thing. They ain't got nothing to
Yes,
do with me.
y'all fix that.
Really, y'all fix that. I'm just
Mhm.
bringing you shirts. I don't care who you give them to. I don't
Right.
care what side of the street he wear them on. Real talk. Like he could rock them there. Could give a fuck. Real talk. You tell him that. I'm gonna put him in this locker where you told me to last week. You figure that out, my G. Yo.
Oh my god.
Real talk.
Oh.
I got to that office. It was like, yo, Gastor. They said you was chewing out managers. Hell yeah. Real talk. You see the nonsense I'm dealing with over there? From now on, you talk to them directly. I'm just delivering.
Oh my
I ain't doing
god.
nothing. I'll do customer service with the little mom and pop shops. Oh man.
Oh, Jesus. That's
All
so
that to say.
funny.
And Shalewa Sharpe. Real talk. Reverse direction Shalewa. I like that.
Oh,
Catch y'all
man.
next time. Peace.